Can you tell me a decision you've made that completely changed your life?
Becoming a police officer was one of them.
Okay.
One of the top 2, 3, I would say.
Why is that?
It shaped me as a man at that part of my life. It made me leave the community that I was in. It made me leave the people that were not good for me. It made me leave the habits and the life decisions that were not good for me. And I had to straighten myself out in a lot of ways and get clear and get in the step on the right path. Really man up to that point in my life in my 20s and get serious about my life. A lot of men in their 20s, including myself, are lost and confused because I was on a path at the time where I thought I was going to be a doctor because I come from a family of medical workers and I hated that field. I finished school and everything I know to do in my life. So I prayed. The first time in my life I really, really prayed to God and I cried. I just asked him for help to make a decision because I was lost. And he guided me. He sent any people in my life who helped me, who shaped me in my 20s. And eventually I became a police officer. And I knew I was going to help people. I did then and I still do now. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful I did it again. I'll do it again if I had to.
What caused you to choose that? I mean, what you said that you like to help people, but being a police officer is rough. What makes you want to still stay a police officer?
To be honest with you, at this point in my life, I might be exiting the field of law enforcement because I'm in business now. I'm in business. I'm in coaching. Just like you, I help people. I help a lot of men out there because I realized that as a police officer, I realized men need a lot more help, mental help, than it seems. And over the last few generations, last few decades, we forgot what it's like to talk to other men. And I've seen way too many instances where men either commit suicide or try to commit suicide to take their own life or make decisions that I wish if they had somebody to talk to at the time, they would still be here. And that goes for the same people that I used to be friends with, that I grew up with.
You're familiar that middle-aged white and Hispanic men are the #1 demographic of suicides. Right.
I've been to many radio calls. Unfortunately, sometimes late when they've already taken their lives, man. And I've seen them their families. It's not a way out.
What advice would you give to a man who is thinking about suicide?
Don't fight that battle alone, because you're not. Nowadays, there's a lot of resources out there. There's a lot of men out there, including here at the beach right now. You know, at the very least, there's God out there. You just gotta talk to him. You know, I've stared at the barrel of my own gun before, and if it wasn't for the people who love me and care for me, and if it wasn't for God, most importantly, you know, during those situations, I might not have been here. Well, at the very least, I would have been somewhere else and not as pleasant as this beach right now, you know? So to the men who think that there's no way out of the situation, there is. You know, my mother always told me that life is like a zebra. Sometimes black, sometimes it's white. There's good times, there's bad times. Nothing you can do about it. But the beautiful part about that is that neither one lasts forever. And sometimes the dark times feel like they'll never end. And it gets worse and worse and worse. And every day you wake up and it just keeps getting worse, man. You keep taking punches. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's always light. And God never gives challenging times to his children that he knows are not going to be able to overcome them.
I don't get enough men talking to other men. That's the exact issue that I'm seeing with middle-aged men.
Oh yeah.
They think they have to do it alone, you know, and they don't have to do it alone. So this is great. Thank you.
A lot of men think we're the lonely island. We're not, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure from the family, from the society, from the social media, from women, from their own families, from their own minds, from the devil, and it just seems like it's never ending. But there are men and there are resources out there. There are people out there who will help, who will listen,